Radio MD.
RadioMD.com.
It's time for the Dr. Lee Vinokur Show. Here's Dr. Lee.
Hi, and welcome back to the show. We are talking about it's the holiday season and how to get some more fulfillment for the holidays, because it can be a very stressful time, and I think stress kind of takes out some of the pleasure when we try and do so much. So my next guest, Dr. Susan Whitbourne, is a professor of psychology and brain sciences at University of Mass Amherst. And welcome to the show, Dr. Whitbourne. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So, the holidays should be a time of, being thankful, understanding the meaning of family and getting together. But so often, we see those picture-perfect Martha Stewart holidays. We feel like we have to do it all, and there's so much to do that it becomes stressful. Some people kind of start to dread a time that should be a little bit joyous.
Absolutely. And it really is a shame, because there's so many ways that the holidays can be fulfilling. And it's really a matter of kind of focusing on the aspects of the holidays that you most enjoy and managing ways to get over that stress while you keep your eye on the long goals that you have of bringing happiness and fulfillment to yourself and your family members.
Yeah, because in truth, there's study after study I've seen that resentment, hostility, anger has bad effects, that forgiveness, some of us may have some family dynamics going on.
Oh, yeah, who
that
doesn't?
that we can't forgive. So what do you tell your patients about, how to go about that?
Well, what I've said in my, I have a blog on holiday stress. I actually have several, one on just dealing with the family and the perfectionism and the themes that you've just mentioned, and others on gift giving, because that certainly feeds into the stress. But it's always really looking at the fundamental values that you have and that you share with the people closest to you, and letting that drive your behavior instead of the guilt and resentment and anger. But it is difficult. It's a constant battle, especially when you're being exposed all the time to those images and the television shows that show how to make the perfect cookies. And, of course, grocery stores are overflowing now with cookbooks, as well as everything they're trying to get you to throw in the cart for your kids, and money becomes an issue. But again, we want to decide what's really going to be important to our personal fulfillment. What are our values? And then also, how can we use the rituals of the holidays to bring us more in touch with ourselves and our identities?
So what do you recommend? I mean, obviously, we really need to learn to cut ourselves some slack, which is probably the hardest thing for everybody to do. Mm-hmm. Because, and especially women, we want to make everybody happy. We feel like we have, so much to do, and everyone else's happiness depends on us. So It's a hard thing for women to do, I think.
I agree. And there is this sense of constantly feeling guilty that you're not doing enough and comparing yourself to other people. So in addition to trying to strip down to your basic values and looking for the good in relationships and your sense of identification with your past, there is a cutting yourself some slack, and really talking to yourself in ways that will bring down that stress and perfectionism that contribute to those feelings. Really using kind of what cognitive behavioral therapy is perfect for this, even just some of the principles of where you turn the shoulds and look at the shoulds, I should do this, I should do that, and question them and say, where is this coming from, and why do I believe this, and do I have to believe this?
Mm-hmm. So you actually ask yourself, really, why should I do this? Is that what you tell your patients to do?
Yeah, I mean, and that's certainly what the research shows on anxiety, stress, and depression is pretty much the formula for almost everything related to those feelings of stress is to question your assumptions and why you feel this way, and then challenge them and try to look at things more realistically.
So what other tips? I mean, obviously, and we're talking about it, and we've talked about, eating healthy. There is stress eating and trying to get some physical activity. Even just finding a little bit of time for yourself. I find for me, at the end of a stressful night, even if I can get into the bathtub for just like 15 minutes alone with nobody asking me anything is a way to de-stress. What other tips can you give us?
Yeah, I mean, what works for you. For some people, I think, ironically enough, it's doing the dishes and cleaning up and restoring, kind of normality to what your living space looks like. For others,
I wish that was for me, because you should see
my
my
I
house
actually
when
know
I'm
people
stressed.
like that. I'm very thankful for them being there at holiday gatherings. But it is using kind of looking for little flow-like experiences, ways that you can not only de-stress, but find energizing activities as well. If it's crafts that you like, or just spending some time reading or playing video games, or just whatever it is that's going to take some of that energy and put it out somewhere else, so that you're not, going to sleep with this anxiety and stress on your mind. So, I think people have to identify the activities and that are really closest to make them feel good. It could be yoga, it could be meditation. I think in addition to just relaxing, it could be just getting on the treadmill, doing the opposite, just kind of exercising your way out of it, which has the added advantage of building up your endorphins and getting you in a better mood, and then also working off some of those little extra drinks and nibblies that you ingested.
Yeah, exercise can tend to help. And I think, and I know for myself too, accepting help, it almost feels like defeat. But if people are going to bring things and they're offering to help you, just let them help you. It's, one less thing.
Let them help you. I've just been reading some research on teamwork and cooperation, and really this is one of the most important skills that we have that we tend not to emphasize. And you think of it at work, but you don't think of it at home or in the family. And I mean, working together with family members and building that kind of team effort makes everybody feel a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, I know that my husband will say, well, you always tell me I don't load the dishwasher right, which is true. He really does not. But I think, during these times, so what if you don't get one or two extra plates in because it hasn't been perfectly loaded? You have to let people do this.
Yeah, and your candles maybe aren't exactly matching your tablecloth. Really, honestly, who's going to notice except you? So you got to let some of these things go.
But it is hard. So do you find for perfectionists, it's even a worse time during the holiday?
Absolutely, because, again, as you said at the beginning, there's so many images out there of the perfect holiday gathering, and they're on TV commercials and movies. And when you're in that situation, not everybody is going to look at it and expect it to look like your image of that you've carried with it. So that's in your head, but it's not in other people's heads.
So you really have to tell yourself that it's okay. But, it is very hard. So we only have a minute, but if you would say the most important thing that you can do for yourself for the holiday to get fulfillment and relax?
Really focus on the values that are important to you. Enjoy your family and your relationships, and these are the people that matter in your life. And even if there's a little argument now and then, you got to make it work.
Right, because that's what the holidays are all about, really, if you think about it. So I want to thank my guest. This is the Dr. Lee Vinokur Show, Health from the Outside In, where feeling good starts with looking good. So stay tuned into your health.